y'all. So let me do this real quick. Okay. So, back. It's fun. I was planning on starting this earlier, but I had some stuff that I needed to finish up. My family is currently going through a huge renovation project with a lot of our house, putting in new flooring, just painting stuff, I think like putting in a fireplace as well. It's gonna be pretty nice, but for now at least, my house is a tiny bit of a disaster. Still have time to do this though, so that's pretty nice. I believe that I'm on chapter 9 now, so probably need to get some of these guys trained up a little bit more, like Agma and Julian, just so that when it gets to the later levels, obviously, they won't have to worry so much about trying to kill enemies. Let's go ahead and start. Interlopers that dare set foot on the sacred land of Pirathi, I will not permit even one of you to remain alive. Our god, Salamander, will burn you to ash. That might not... Oh. So, I guess we have to fight a Manakee. And if you've seen Bond 2, you should know that Firestone gives just insane defense, so that's gonna be really annoying to try and deal with, but... And also, it looks like there's a mage up here, so that's a bit worrying. Blizzard. I don't actually know what Blizzard does in this game. Because, like, I feel like it changes around, from game to game. Like, in Radiant Dawn, Blizzard is, very high range attack, similar to something like Meteor. While in Three Houses, it's more like, fire and lightning magic, just with ice elemental damage instead. So, it could be that this mage will be able to hit my units from super far away, or this mage will only be able to do damage up close. I really, really hope that it's up close damage, because I don't know if some of these guys will be able to survive getting hit from so far away, especially Drog. I mean, everyone in this game has 0 res, so it's gonna be pretty difficult to deal with any mage units. But like Drog specifically doesn't have that much speed, and so he can easily get doubled. So I don't want that to happen. Especially considering I really want to try and keep quite a few of these guys alive. It definitely seems like quite a few of them will be useful later in the game. I'm probably going to keep most of these guys on my team. But if I start losing more of them, then we're going to have to take the replacement units. And obviously some of them aren't good. Rad, who I just moved, got last chapter, starts at level 1. And that's very, very dumb. Okay. Wolf, go over here. Caesar's gonna go ahead and protect Lena. I don't feel too confident in his abilities, but it's better to have someone blocking a path for any enemies so that Lena doesn't die. Because that's another thing I need to worry about. Now that I actually have more healing stuff, I really don't want Lena to die because she's been pretty useful as another healer along with Wendell. And there are quite a few vulneraries that people have, but still not too many around. It does look like, though, this chapter is either going to be pretty simple or more complex. And considering the fact that we have the Manakee now we have to deal with, I'd rather go the complex route. I believe that one of the chests has a Dragon Slayer, which is effective against Manakeets, If I get that, then the boss would be a lot easier to deal with. Considering that this boss is now a Mankey, it's highly likely that a lot of the next chapters will involve Manakets, either just as regular units or as bosses. Fire Emblem definitely does that type of system where usually if you see a unit who you can easily look at and say, oh, they're probably going to be important later on, or oh, they're probably going to do a lot of damage to me. Usually bosses, you can tell that whatever that boss's class is, that class will probably start to appear more frequently later on. It could be seen with like the knights in the previous chapter. As the chapters went on, obviously more knights started appearing. Okay. Caster. I'm gonna go ahead and... Wait, Martha's the only one who can visit villages. Okay. I'm gonna have Marth go up with Rad and Cheetah, and then Wolf can go over there as well. Maybe Bantu as well. I really need to decide what to do with Bantu as well, because he's good for now, I'd say, just as a shield to block enemies, considering that the Firestone has infinite durability. But it's pretty obvious that either his stat growths are very low, or he doesn't really have any stat growths, which means that he's not going to be very useful later on. For now, I can use him. Which, that's usually how it is for certain Fire Emblem games. Most games, I would say, tend to be that you want to have a squad that you kind of create in the early game, and then train up those guys, figure out what you want to do with them. But there are certain games that you really can't do that for, and it's a lot better to just take the strongest ones you get throughout the game and make those part of your army. I don't always listen to that though. Radiant Dawn is definitely one of those games where a lot of units availability is such where you really can't rely on training up a full squad from time to time, and it's a lot better to just use the powerful units that you start to get during the late and endgame chapters, especially because those tend to be the Royal Lugus units. And Lugus in the Path of Radiance and Radiant Dawn get some pretty great stat buffs when they transform into their full Lugus forms, making it a lot better for them as units. The downside to that is that they can't use it throughout the entire battle. Usually they have a limit on how many turns they can use it, or how many times they can battle in that form. But the Royal Lugus have the special ability that they can transform at the start of battle and remain transformed for the entire battle. And some of those stat buffs are just amazing for those guys. I'm pretty sure one of them, Tabarn, gets like 40 strength or something like that when he's transformed. And considering he also gets boosts to his defense, resistance, and speed, he just becomes a powerhouse of a unit to use. Which makes sense because he is one of the characters who's force deployed into your army during certain parts of the game in Radiant Dawn. Okay. But then there's also games like this where, considering how the recruits so far that we've been getting, some of them definitely fluctuate in level and usability. I would say that this game is a lot more of take the units that you have, train them up, figure out what you want to do with them, and if they die, then here's your replacement units. You're going to have a more difficult time with them, but, you know, sometimes that's just who you have to use. Shoot. Of course, that isn't always the case. I mean, Wendell, who we got in, what, like, chapter 4 or 5, is already promoted. Honestly, I don't really know if this game's leveling or scaling system is that good. So, it's definitely gonna be neat to see some of the changes that later Fire Emblem games make. Especially these first, like, 6 games. Because Fire Emblem 1 through 6, I have either not played or I haven't beaten any of them. I haven't played Gaiden and Thracia 776, and then I haven't beaten 1, 3, 4, and 6. Obviously, after FE1 is beaten, then FE3 and FE11 will be a lot simpler to get through because FE3 Book 1 is a remake of this game, so knowing like where the character locations are, how the bosses work, all of that kind of stuff will be very useful for the remake. And then same exact thing for Shadow Dragon. It's just the remake of this game, but now for DS. I also feel like FE3 Book 2 could kind of fall into a similar category. There are obviously certain differences and between like the actual enemy design, when characters are recruited, all of that kind of stuff, but maybe if like some maps are the same between games, then that could be something that could be very, very helpful. I feel like Gaiden I will also have a pretty simple time with, just because of my time with Shadows of Valentia. Obviously, there will be some changes, because I'm going from the remake of a game that was released in like 2017 to the original game for the Famicom, which these are obviously very, very different. This game looks nothing like something like Engage or Three Houses, because obviously it doesn't. Hardware changes, game limitations, scope of the game, all of that kind of stuff. It's definitely changed over the years. Oh. Well, damn. Guess I'm not getting to that, house. Oh. That is a lot of damage. I think drugs should survive this, but barely. Okay. Let's see. Considering how the map looks to be going, yeah, I'm gonna start with just Julian getting this chest. It's more gold. I'll take it. Gold is always nice to have, even if it feels somewhat unnecessary. Okay. Lena, go ahead and heal. I do wish this game was a little bit faster, because a lot of the time it feels like some of these chapters aren't too big. It's just that the hardware overall and how the game's speed works, it takes a while to get through some of them. And I do know for this version there is a way to speed up the game, but I really don't want to do that just because you can't change the settings to make it so the game is sped up, but the music stays at the same speed. So, for example, if I go ahead and I go to the fast forward settings and put on ×2, it's faster, but for me personally, I'm not a huge fan of how the music goes. So I will suffer through 1 speed if it means that I don't have to listen to the ×2 sped up music. Which does kind of suck. I feel like it's another semi-big problem of this game, is just it's very, very slow to try and get through. And that's not always a bad thing. Like, actually no, it is. Who am I kidding? A game that is slow is very, very difficult to get through. Because you can have a great experience with a lot of other stuff, but if the game itself just it just has a hard time running, it's not really as fun. I mean, there's different experiences. Like, I'd say certain games work for a slower style. Like horror games, obviously. Sometimes if you just want to build up tension, then you have slower segments through those games. But there's a difference between a slower segment and a game to build up tension, and something like this where the movement is just very slow, with units moving down the battlefield and then the actual attack animations. It's a bit awkward. Okay, good. Hawkma got hit. A positive of this game, though, that I honestly didn't really expect is I feel like the sprite work is done pretty well for the NES. Like, sure, Bantu's Dragon isn't a huge wonder of sprite artwork nowadays, but I feel like for the time, it's a pretty great job for what, an early 90s game on limited hardware. All of the other stuff that's put into it. I like it. Okay, caster, just get the hit. Awesome. Caster's been putting in the work. Okay. Harden. Gonna come down here. I'm gonna put the javelin on him so that if I'm not able to hit and kill... Oh! That's a crit. That's nice. If I'm not able to kill both of these archers, then at least Harden will have a chance to fight back against them if they decide to go after him. But I honestly think they're gonna try and go after someone else. Harden's definitely one of the stronger units here. Rad might have a tough time. I might have just sent him to his death. He served his purpose. His only use for me was to get items from the shops and the armories last chapter. And... oh shoot, I forgot about Drog. Drog's gonna go up here. Yeah, his only purpose was to get items, and that purpose was served, so... if he goes away, it's not gonna be a huge deal for me. I mean, I still have Navarre, level 10, versus Rad's level 2. I'd say that's slightly better, especially for this point in the game. Sheeta... the archers can't move through the sea unlike the pirates. I'm gonna put her down here so that, what's his name, Caesar can't get hit on more than one side. The pirates shouldn't be, I don't think they have enough movement to reach the top corner between him and Marth. So all that Sheeta needs to worry about, Sheeta's probably gonna get hit by both pirates, but at least Caesar will be safe. He'll probably just get hit by the thief. Yeah. Sheeta. I was really hoping that the evasion for Sheeta and the accuracy of axes would be enough that she wouldn't actually get hit. I mean, honestly, I still don't fully know how that... what did I do? Huh? I don't know what happened. I'm just gonna go back here, I guess. 'Cause... I think I hit my controller like an awkward position or something. I guess I'll just do all of this again. So, drunk, go up here. Like, quite honest, I don't know what just happened. Maybe it's just like Pokemon where it's like the LR plus or whatever resets the game. But LNR for this one just pulls up that other menu, so... Huh. I mean, like, it's not a huge deal. It's just one turn lost. I'm honestly very happy for the turn rewind feature, because even if I'm not, like, fully using it for this playthrough, just because I want to get, like, the more natural really, Agma? I really want to get the experience of what it was like to play this game before, like, they got the bookmark and turn rewind features in the Switch re-release. That's just for me personally. Who cares what other people do? Do what you want to do if you want to play this game. But also, if you want to play this game, don't play this game. Play one of the 2 remakes. I mean, it is a very nice feature to have something like turn rewind for that, though. Because, like, if you just somehow, like I just did, accidentally reset the game, it doesn't save your progress like it does, like some other games are able to. And in that case, it's a godsend. I don't know if Rad will be able to double. Oh. Go Rad. Okay. Once again, just Harn's gonna come down here. Javelin. And you. It really sucks that that house was destroyed. I'm pretty sure, if I remember correctly, you get a unit from that, village. And he's, like, supposed to be really good, too. He's a pre-promoted sniper. He's able to use, like, some of the best bows in the game by default because of his weapon level. And now no more George. I think it's really funny whenever a unit dies. Like, unlike other Fire Emblem games I've already mentioned, usually I like to reset so that all of the units can stay alive, but in this case, I'm okay if the units die in this game. I'm not fully attached to a lot of them. It is really funny, though, since this game and some of the other Fire Emblem games obviously have direct sequels or prequels. It can make it really funny when certain units die because it's just like, oh, it's not really the canon story anymore. Like, every single unit who is playable in this game, I believe is playable in FE3 Book 2. And if any of these guys die, technically the events that happen later aren't the actual events that happen. It's definitely different for other games. I definitely think Three Houses is one of the funniest ways to when a unit dies, of what happens when a unit dies, because obviously for that game you have like this massive group of people who are all working together for this common goal, and then all of a sudden, if a unit or two dies in your army, oh shoot, can these guys attack Drog? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, yes. Okay, so maybe rest in peace, Drog. But for that game, usually after a battle, you'll have like this group of characters coming together to just do like silly one-liners. But if anyone dies who's supposed to be part of that group, they no longer appear in the cutscene. So, let's say you make it towards the end of the game and every unit that can die without causing a game over, which is basically every character other than Byleth, Edelgard, Dimitri, and Claude, then you'll get into the low conversations where the entire group is supposed to be there, and they basically last like a minute max, because now it's just Byleth and whichever lord they chose having a conversation, while everyone else is dead. And then, along with that, let's just say like a unit or two in that group is dead. Their spot won't be filled. The group won't get smaller. So you'll just see the empty space where the character's supposed to be. I am gonna guess that it was literally just the developers didn't think it mattered too much, which I agree. I think there's no real point in just making the group smaller, because that's just a lot of busy work that doesn't really need to be there. But it's both sad, because obviously you see the empty space and it's like, oh, this person should be there. But for me, it's just funny, because you look and it's just like, oh, this group of people is literally standing in the same exact positions that they always do, and this space won't be filled because this specific character is supposed to be there. Oh, Martha is able to follow up. I feel like usually Thief's speed stats are high enough to the point where most units aren't able to double them. Oh, nice strength. No, I found out. I looked up a few other characters after I looked up Sheeta's like growth stats, because I wanted to see what her strength growth was overall for this game. And a lot of these units have 20% strength growths, which basically means if they get a level up, they only have a 20% chance of getting a +1 to strength. If you get a string of bad luck, a lot of these units are just gonna suck. Which I think is probably where mages come in a bit, because since the magic stat I don't think is in this game, the magic just has whatever default attack value it's supposed to have. Like thunder does exactly 6 damage. That's pretty nice. Of course, considering Wendell's the only one who can really use magic right now, definitely can't rely on Wendell for everything. Magic is pretty overpowered, but the fact that you can only have a certain amount definitely causes a lot of problems. Okay, Caesar. Considering all of these guys are already over here, I might as well just take this path down while everyone else deals with these enemies. Of course, Julian might have to get over there to open the door, because I know the Fire Emblem can open chests, but I don't know if it can open doors. Oh, Goddess Icon. That's very nice. I believe it's a +4 to luck to any unit you want, which can definitely be helpful. Oh, I just realized no one went after Drog. That's kind of weird. I feel like one of these guys would have gone after him. Okay, come on, Navarre. It's gonna be hard to deal with some of these pirates, considering that they're on water. I'm pretty sure it gives evotion bonuses. Okay. Caster, come over here. Caster with the steel bow. Yeah, that's some pretty bad hit rates. Oh. Good news is he's strong. Someone's getting that 20% strength growth. Harden. I'm gonna keep the javelin on Harden. Okay. Dang. Oh, yeah. Oh. I do really want to enjoy this game, and I feel like I'm having a pretty great experience with it so far. It's been a lot of fun. But man, I'm very impatient, and I do want to beat it. Even though I'm having fun, I want to beat it so that I can play some of the other Fire Emblem games. Like, I think Gaiden will be a bit of the same type of thing, where even though I love Shadows of Valentia, I'm gonna be annoyed with some of the slower stuff in it, and I'm just gonna want to move on. Mainly to Genealogy of the Holy War. I am very excited to actually try and get through that game, because every single time I've started it, I've stopped. Not because I was bored, but literally just because I had to go do something and then I forgot about the game. And that's really happened just way too often. Considering that Genealogy of the Holy War, my experience with it so far has been a lot of fun. I just keep forgetting to actually finish it. And, you know, I guess actually trying to play all of these games on stream gives me more of an incentive to try and beat all of them, because I feel like, for me at least, I'm not just doing this one single task of, oh, here's these games, you're gonna have to beat these games. No, I also have to make sure to have kind of a schedule in a way, which basically just amounts to, hey, I feel like doing this, so I'm gonna do this. Which I feel like is better than nothing for me. So I'll take it. Shoot. Okay. These archers are obviously a bit scary for Sheeta, but considering we have 5 of these guys all over here, should be able to take care of them pretty quickly. Okay, Wendell can obviously chip down quite a bit with Thunder, so we'll go ahead and start with that. Yeah. Okay. Wolf. Mounted units. I have a love-hate relationship with a lot of mounted units. Just something about having to deal with the mounts annoys me, but at the same time, they're just very good units to have. There are just certain games where, like the Fire Emblem games where movement doesn't matter as much. I'd say one of the big ones is probably like the 3DS era, other than Shadows of Valentia a bit, and then also like Three Houses, maybe Engage a little bit. I definitely rely on a lot less mounted units, because usually they only have like 1 or 2 more movement than a lot of the other ones, a lot of the other units. So it's like, why try and use these units that I really don't like, when I can just use these guys that I actually want to use. And it definitely helps that those later games, other than Shadows of Valentia, well, kind of Shadows of Valentia, you can change a unit's class, so then I don't have to deal with people being on mounts if I actually like the unit itself. I think that's honestly partly just because of the fact that I tend to use a lot of mage units or flyers. Mage units, I love using magic in Fire Emblem games, and there are some mounted units that are able to use magic skills, obviously, but usually they tend to be infantry classes, which I'm okay with. And then flyers are just the best. Other than bow weakness, which doesn't always matter, they're a lot of fun to use. I like using glass cannons, basically. If you can hit for a bunch of damage, I don't care how frail you are, I'm gonna use you. It's probably not the best strategy, though. I mean, considering how useful Bantu has been, and he basically just defends and then hits for okay damage. But I like the units who hit like a tank. That's doing okay. He cannot hit like a tank. Okay. I really want to get rid of this axe dude, because This hand axe is a bit scary to me. Okay, good. Because if he got high enough, I don't know if he would have been able to hit Lena or not. Because I don't know if this counts as passable terrain for those weapon types. If it is, then Lena was not gonna be in a good situation. And javelin. Pardon, you had one job. One! Man. I really should have given Drog a vulnerary, because he is not doing well. I think Ogma might. Yeah, I'll just give him Ogma's vulnerary. Okay. Good job. And Bontu can stay where he is. Same with Navarre. And that thief, that's not gonna be hard to deal with. Okay. That was quite a bit of damage. There aren't a lot of enemies left, are there? Here, there's 5 there, along with the thief. All I need to get is that chest. Does anyone have a door key? Because otherwise, Julian's just about to do a huge journey all the way there. Okay. No one has a door key. It is very nice that Sheeta's able to use both swords and lances. I honestly didn't know if she'd be able to use lances, just because, you know, that's not really in her starting inventory. It makes sense, I suppose. I mean, in the remake, she gets Wing Spear. She gets the Wing Spear, which obviously is a lance. Good job, Caesar. Yeah, I forgot I have Marth over here. Even if I want to just end the chapter without getting that chest, I can't. Marth has to make it over to the castle. Yeah. A lot of the changes that later Fire Emblem games made were very nice. I like the fact that, you know, it doesn't have to just be Marth who goes to villages to visit them. I like the fact that I believe more than just the Lord Can Sees in, like, the 3DS games. That actually might not be the case. I don't remember. I mean, it has been a few months since I've played any of the 3DS Fire Emblem games. Just because of college and stuff, I got more focused on obviously playing through Engage since that came out recently, and then other than that, just playing like Smash or just relaxing with some other stuff in my free time. Now that it's summer though, I have more of a chance to do stuff like this. Mainly just because I don't have to be as lazy as I was. Like in college, I would go into the esports room because I was in esports and esports is awesome, go esports. I would have my Switch in there and I would just play on that for a few hours, just doing random games, usually Smash or Bayonetta. Bayonetta, by the way, great game, love it. And that's all I'll talk about here because I talk about way too much outside of streaming. I'm pretty sure a lot of my friends are a bit annoyed at me because I talk about it very, very frequently. But yeah, I just tended to stay in that room and just play on my Switch. And so if I wanted to play Fire Emblem, it was basically either Three Houses or Engage. Or Tokyo Mirage Sessions, except I actually lent my copy of that to one of my friends, so they currently have that And I would say that I should text them and be like, hey, I need it back soon for this, but that game isn't happening. I'm pretty sure that's like the 4th to last game of this entire like Fire Emblem series of games that I'm playing. So considering how long that this game is already taking, yeah, he could take his precious time playing through Tokyo Mirage Sessions, knowing that I'm probably not gonna need it for a couple months. No, but once I get through like FE1 through 5, obviously more like the old school Fire Emblem, GBA, starting there with FE6, even though I still don't know fully everything in every single Fire Emblem game, I feel like I'm going to have a much clearer mind, and I won't be as stressed out because, I mean, Fire Emblem 6 and Fire Emblem 7 are very different games, but they still have a lot of similarities to one another, so I'm able to use my knowledge a little bit more. Caster, Steel Bow. Awesome. Caster. Ooh! Nice job, Caster. Very good. How much strength does Caster have? 9? Dang. I'm sorry for saying how much you suck all the time, Caster. You're doing a great job. Okay. So, the other question, as I start to move Julian and Marth in different directions so that Julian will be able to get to that chest, is, are there reinforcement units? And considering all of these, I'm gonna say the answer is yes. Meaning, we're gonna bring some people on this pilgrimage with Julian. AKA Bantu. I feel like, as long as Bantu's around, Julian will be a lot better. Of course, I could also bring a lot of these guys. All that's left, other than the possible reinforcements, is just the boss and a healer. Healer, that's gonna be easy to defeat. The boss, I'm probably gonna need the Dragon Sword or Dragon Slayer, whatever it's called in this game. Which is why I need to get to that chest. Of course, then the question becomes who should get the kill. Because I'd say usually Marth, since obviously he's the main character and he's definitely going to need some levels. I know he's level 10 right now, but you never fully know how well that's going to be for an overall level. And I want to make sure that he's high enough of a level that he won't have to worry so much about some of these enemies, especially considering that if he dies, then it's game over. Should be okay though, hopefully. I feel like all of these other guys that are over with him though will be fine. Wolf is still what? Oh no, he's level 6. Wolf is doing fine, Wendell's doing fine, she is doing fine. I guess Caesar's just okay. Actually, he's the same level as Ogma now, I'm pretty sure. So, I guess Ogma and Caesar are now gonna start to compete to decide which of the mercenaries I should really keep. I'll just keep both of them. I know out of all of the mercenaries, what, all 4 of them, definitely keeping Navarre, because he's the best one. It is really funny to see all of the sword units though, because it does remind me a lot of what you'll see in Gaiden and Echoes with Celica's army, because she gets so many sword units. I believe that it's also like possible 4 different sword units that she can get who all have the same exact class, which is really funny. The good news though, the mercenary class in that game is pretty insane, because their final class is called the Dreadfighter, and Dreadfighters have very good evasion, obviously have very high speed, meaning they're usually able to double, which also means usually a high crit rate. But then on top of all of that, they also get special skills to make magic users a lot easier to deal with. I believe in Echoes, at least, they have a skill that cuts the magic attack in half, along with an automatic +5 resistance, which is quite insane. The downside to that is probably just with the fact that for Gaiden, or for Echoes, you can never just do, no one can ever hit you for just 0 damage. You always get at least 1 HP hit every single time. Like, let's say, in a game like this, where an Armor Knight has about 12 defense, if an enemy can only do 11 damage, they're not gonna do any damage to that Armor Knight, because it has to be damage above the certain threshold, in this case, damage above 12. But for Gaiden, that 11 damage will still just be 1 HP, which can add up. Of course, it usually doesn't matter. 1 HP is still 1 HP, but also 1 HP is 1 HP. It's not gonna be that much of a deal if you actually get that hit, or if you get hit yourself. Caesar. Yeah, this chapter was a lot quicker than I thought it would be. I feel like I'm saying that for a lot of these chapters, though, and it's usually just the chapter is fast, but then actually getting to the second objective takes a while, meaning that the actual boss kill is going to take a while. Considering that I don't know the accuracy of the Draco Sword, it might actually take a long time to kill this boss. But I hope not, because I want to try and defeat him before a lot of these reinforcements come in. For now, we're just gonna have... or Ogmar's gonna stay on there, just in case there are reinforcement spawns. And then everyone else is gonna go and surround Lena. I went the wrong way with Arth. Whatever. Okay. I think Julian and Sheeta are gonna go over to open up the chest, just because Sheeta will be able to very easily get over there, or get the trade from Julian so that she can get the sword and then easily fly all the way over to Marth. I think that's probably the best way to go about this. Considering how I feel like Julian has some pretty good mobility overall, so it should be easy to get him over there. And then since Sheeta's obviously able to ignore basically all of the terrain that's around, she can also Wolf! This dude's a problem. Sheeta will be able to easily get over and get the sword from Julian. If this guy doesn't die, that's gonna be a problem. It is very nice. Magic is... how did that not hit? It is very nice, overall, how magic works, because I feel like it's a pretty fair system overall of, it's a set amount of damage, so it's pretty good in certain instances, but if you have a character who has a lot of strength along with the might of their weapon, then they're obviously gonna be doing a lot more. But the plus side of magic is that it ignores any terrain bonuses, and also calculates with resistance instead of defense, which in these old games is usually 0 or close to 0. Like, Wendell's a magic unit himself, and he doesn't have any resistance. I just realized Wolf might be in trouble. He'll be fine. He'll be fine. Meanwhile, Rad can just go and kill this girl. Honestly, considering the amount of time that it's probably gonna take to get this sword, I might as well just see if Caster's attack is high enough that he can at least do a bit of chick damage to this amount of heat. I don't think he'll be able to, though. Obviously, yeah. Even if he's able to do some damage, which he can't, the tile will just heal him. That sucks. But it's understandable. Okay. Honestly, I don't think Lena would be able to survive a hit from the Manakee, but if she could, I honestly might just use him to train her level up a bit. At the same time, I don't want to risk it. It's probably good to see how much damage Banju usually does if I want to try and figure that out, so... let's figure this out. Stats are confusing. Because he has 2 strength, and the Firestone obviously boosts that up. So, that being the case... Nanu. It's a Firestone. $16 might. So he'd be doing 18 damage, and considering Lena has 16 HP, 3 defense, she'd survive. She'd survive with 1 HP. But no one would be able to heal her. But it would be interesting to see. But it has some great risks. If Wendell comes over here, I might as well try it. It's probably really dumb to do, but I feel like being a bit dumb. I think it would be fun. I mean, what's the worst that can happen? I guess losing a healer, which I literally mentioned at the beginning of this chapter, I do want to keep. But, I mean, the more that she's around, the less useful she's gonna be because she's only level 3. And without getting hit by an enemy, she'll just stay at level 3. I'm probably gonna risk it. Great job, Bantu. Oh, he hit. Shoot. I keep pressing that button. It's not good. Yeah, Wendell's just gonna go over there. I mean, he wouldn't be able to heal her for full HP because all he has is heal. It's better than nothing. Now Julian and Cheetah can come over here. Considering the enemies... she's gonna come... Actually, considering the terrain bonuses, they probably... she wouldn't be able to hit them. Okay. wolf over here. And he's just going to use the bow gun. It's probably going to be less damage, but a bit more accurate, which is what's really needed. Okay. Caesar or Marth? Let's just do that. Full HP. Okay, Marth. It's so nice to have the rapier again. It's such a good weapon. It's so nice. Just keep Hardin over here. As for you guys, Navarre can come. Actually, how much? Also 9 strength, so I don't think he'd be able to hit the dragon dude either. He at least can get healed by Lena though. Awesome. Okay. You know, for as much as I Dragon Rad, and I'm just like, he kind of sucks, he's doing a good job. So, I guess I'm proud of you, Rad. You're doing what you need to do. And also kind of not doing what I thought you would do, which was die. Which is a lot more than I can say about some of these other units, even though it's my fault that they're dead. Oh. I just realized Marth got the start of his second HP box. That's pretty cool. Also makes sense. He's doing pretty well for himself. I don't know if this is just how he is by default, or maybe I'm actually getting lucky levels with him. I'm just gonna say that it's lucky levels, because that would be pretty nice if that's the case. Okay. Good. We can work with this. Oh, Wendell will be fine. I honestly, when you first got Wendell, I thought it was going to be a lot more of a glass cannon than it actually is. Like, the overall attack is decent, which makes sense considering how mages seem to work in this game. But I don't know, I didn't feel like he'd really have any defense. He surprisingly does. Okay. I don't think any of these guys, yeah, none of them can cross the drain. So, Julian, and this. I think this dude might be able to attack him. We'll keep Sheeta. Or actually, I think Marth should have enough movement that, yeah. He's gonna come up here, use his rapier, kill this dude. That damage is eyeing up. I really hope that if reinforcement units come, which I'm guessing they do, I don't think they'd be able to reach him, but still don't want him to gain more damage than he's already gotten. Okay. Good news is, early Sheeta. Okay, well, I was gonna say, good news is this dude doesn't have a hand axe, so she can't get hit by him. but she still needs to hit him herself. Harden. Okay. I'm actually still gonna keep Harden up here. Wendell should be able to kill this guy with Thunder. If he hits both of them. Which he didn't. Huh. Oh well. I'd rather have Steel Sword. I think Javelin honestly might be more accurate, but I'm so used to the weapon triangle that I still pick swords against axes, even though it doesn't matter for this game. Navarre can go and fight this dude. Yeah, Navarre. Well, it's so nice. Okay. Gonna end turn. Okay, yeah, that's a lot of reinforcements. Again? Sheeta, you need to stop missing these. Oh. That's not good. No one's around to heal Marth, so... Huh. Come on. Okay. I mean, even if Navarre got hit, he probably would have been fine, but I really didn't want him to be hit. Ooh, level. Navarre might be able to chip the boss down now. It's still probably a dumb idea to do, but probably be funny. Worm Slayer. Okay, so now Marth or Sheeta can go over to the convoy and get it. Then we can deal with that boss. Okay. If everything was calculated out correctly, I think Navarre would be able to do like 1 HP to the boss, which, you know, in some instances could actually work out well enough. But for this game, that's definitely not gonna work, because the boss is on the throne and he gets to heal every turn. So 2 HP every turn is not gonna do anything. I guess technically 4, because Navarre would most likely double, which would be 2 HP player phase, 2 HP enemy phase. But even then, he heals at the beginning of each enemy phase, meaning that you wouldn't really be doing any damage to him. As for everyone else, yeah, they're still just gonna have to wait and hope for the best. Unless someone has a bunch of strength, which which I don't think anyone does. Okay, good. Good job, Marth. Even though the Worm Slayer's taking a while to get to him, if he's able to dodge a lot of these attacks, it might actually be good, because they can farm some experience. Awesome. Okay, they are able to hit between those walls, so it's a very, very good thing that that pirate didn't try and attack Lena, because she probably could have died in a single hit. Okay. Awesome. That honestly is very, very good to get. You know, you'd really think that the woods would help out at least a little bit, but nope. Navarre's still doing great though. Go Navarre. Oh. Unnecessary, very nice. Okay. Marth is gonna go ahead. Store. Steel sword. Get the Worm Slayer. Awesome. Now, as for everyone else, that dude has a steel sword. So, I'm gonna go ahead and put Sheet over here. Or actually, I'll put her inside, and then she can use the javelin. Awesome. Okay. Julian can make his way out here. This chapter's starting to mostly become a test of endurance, and I think these units will be able to survive enough. Maybe. The real problem is this dude, because Wolf isn't doing very well. If any of them get too close, then Wolf honestly might die. That should help out though. This guy does have a hand axe. Wolf's gonna go up here. I don't know if these heal, but at least he can use a vulnerary. And we can separate Bantu and Caesar. Okay. Nice. Oh, so he does have growths. I guess they're just terrible. Items. Okay, Caesar does not have any healing items. Okay, good luck, Caesar. I kind of believe in you. Well, he hit both of those hits, which is more than I can say for some people in this chapter. Which, you know, for good reason. I mean, it's a lot of water, and pirates get to travel around all of it, not have to worry about usually getting hit. Evocation bonuses are very, very nice when you get them, because when the enemy gets them, it sucks. All Marth needs to do is just run to the castle. Everyone's getting in his way. Just keep going, Marth. Oh shoot. Huh. Okay. Oh! That's nice. Okay. I just remembered. No one has resistance. The dragon could have just been defeated from Wendell's magic. You know what? It's too late. It's too late to go back. Plus, Marth needs to get over there anyways. Whatever. Okay. So, instead of attacking, I'm gonna have Marth heal, just so that he'll be able to survive a lot of these guys. Okay. Cheetah. She can just do the same thing. Get ready to attack and heal a bit. Okay, as for Bantu, you need to start killing some more people. I believe in you. Good. Okay. Nice. Awesome. Wolf's back at 20. You can start hitting some of these guys. Be able to hit back? No. I couldn't remember if that guy had a hand axe or a steel axe. I'm gonna keep Hardin and Wendell over there. Should be good. Now Caesar can help defeat some of these enemies. Good. Over here. So let's keep going. That's a lot of pirates. I do think it's really interesting how certain classes in Fire Emblem just get special abilities that no one else can really get. Especially because of just how they range, because it goes from stuff like Pirates, which is an unobtainable class in most Fire Emblem games, getting the ability to move through water without having to worry about the overall terrain, And then it goes up to like FE7, assassins get the ability lethality where they're able to just kill anyone they want. It's just really funny. Of course, and also, I guess FE7 is, I believe at least, the first Fire Emblem game where you're actually able to use a pirate as a playable unit as well. So, go FE7. That game, it's very good. It was, I think, my second or third ever Fire Emblem game, and I had a pretty great time with it overall. No, it's a pretty great cast of characters. The story is pretty simple, but it doesn't need to be too complex. It's nice to have simple stories. If you're able to explain a simple story well enough, in a lot of ways it can be better than a story where you need to follow a bunch of different directions to figure out what exactly is going on. Of course, that's also just, it depends on people's tastes. Because if they do want a story that's super complex where you have to follow all these different directions and see perspectives from, oh, good job, Caesar. If you want to see a story that details a bunch of different perspectives and that's what you're interested in, then good for you. But for me personally, story doesn't have to be too complex. If it's simple and it gets the point across in a very well done way, then I'll have fun with it. Like, I really like Fire Emblem Engage. The story of that game overall is pretty simple, and it doesn't require being super duper complex. And it's a very fun game for me. I will say that Fire Emblem games that tend to have casts that actually matter to the story a bit more also definitely help. Just trying to experience the story with the main lord throughout the game, it is nice, and you can still have some pretty great moments, but sometimes you just want to hear from other characters, especially if you're not like a huge fan of one of the lords. I wouldn't go as far to say that I hate any of the lords in Fire Emblem, but there's obviously ones that I like more than others. Like, I really like Celica, Ike. Makai is okay. She definitely has problems, less because of her as a character and more just how the writing comes across in Radiant Dawn. But, I don't know. Characters like Martha just aren't that interesting to me. So when you get some of those other characters that get to appear and get to talk, it's nice moments. She does a lot of fun, and she doesn't appear in this story very much. I'm pretty sure her only lines were in the first chapter, but even then, it was nice to see her. That's kind of how I feel about a lot of the characters in this game, is, you know, it's nice to see you, and sometimes I'd rather see you than see Marth. The good news is, he doesn't really do anything wrong that paints him as a bad character. So, he's just kind of there. It is definitely interesting to see people's perspectives on lords in the series, because I feel like you can tell a lot about what a person likes from a story by what Fire Emblem lords they're really interested in. Like, I would say people who really like Byleth are... You know what? I'm not gonna get into it. Because, honestly, I'm not the best at figuring out people's characters. So, I'm not gonna try and be like, if you like blank character, you suck. No one's... Like, seriously? I have to say, if you like a certain character, then you like the certain character. There's not like any characters, I would say, in a lot of stuff where I will look at you if you say you like the character, and I will say you suck. But you know, sometimes I also appreciate it if other people are then like, you don't suck either for liking blank. Like, honestly, Fire Emblem Fates, one of the characters in that game got a bunch of hate during the first couple of years of the release of the game Fire Emblem Heroes, the mobile gacha game. Because, so that character is Camilla. She got a bunch of hate because she started to get a lot of alts, and some people felt like other characters should really get alts because she got like 4 or something like that in the span of a year, and people were getting tired of it. So it felt really awkward. And then also her overall design and how she was written in Fates definitely didn't come across well to a lot of people. But for me personally, I actually found that I personally felt like she was a very interesting character, and she had a interesting backstory that was difficult to decipher because of the writing of that game, but it was still there, and I want to know more about her. Of course, it's a bit awkward when some people hear that one of my favorite characters is Camilla then, because I feel like a lot of the time, when you think of Camilla, you think about the time in Fire Emblem Heroes where people started to hate on her a bunch, to the point where actually, I believe the story is that during one of the events called Choose Your Legends, because a bunch of Fire Emblem fans were being annoying to Smash fans over the inclusion of people like Corrin and Byleth into Smash's DLC, which that's a whole nother thing. In my opinion, I think they were great additions to the roster who came at a terrible time and had terrible trailers. But their inclusion to the game made a bunch of Smash fans mad, so then Fire Emblem fans started to laugh at them and be like, haha, these characters got into your game, blah 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 blah. So then once Choose Your Legends came around, which is an event for heroes where you get to choose the top 2 male heroes and the top 2 female heroes, and they get special ults, the Smash community, some of them came together and decided to rig the voting so that Camilla would be one of the winners of the event, so that she would get an ult and possibly get even more ults after that in the future. And she did, she won. For me personally, I thought it was really fun because I actually like her as a character, so I was happy that she won. But some people were so mad about it, and understandably so. I mean, the whole reason that she won was partly due to just the fact that people came together to vote her in because they were mad about Corrin and Byleth's inclusions into Smash. The thing is, though, in my opinion, when her full ult for Choose Your Legends was revealed, it was actually a pretty great job because it gave a lot of the elements that I personally really like about Camilla. Her overall story arc of her starting to care about the people of her country and really making a name for herself, while also still going with her personality of trying to be this caring figure who loves others. That the writing instead, even though the writing of the game made her come across a lot more as a crazy psychopath. Not really a crazy psychopath, more like she was in love with her brother, when it really was supposed to be more of she was meant to be a mother figure to her brother, or to her sibling, to Corrin. So, once again, I really feel like I'm really excited for the eventual possibility of a Fire Emblem Fates remake, because they're just characters who really deserve a second chance overall. Awesome. Marth got both hits. That's good. Let's go. The door key. I'll take it. Yeah, that works. Okay, and this group should be able to survive these pirates. So... awesome. Okay, and go ahead and end the chapter. Prince Marth, I am Catria of Macedon's White Wings. I have come to you with a secret request. Princess Minerva's forces are planning to rebel against Dolor. However, the princess's younger sister Maria has been taken hostage by Dolor, so we cannot act. We beg of you, please help us save the young princess. I guess that's what we're gonna do next chapter, is save Maria. Okay. I think this is where I'm gonna go ahead and end stream for now. I might be back later tonight, but no, I still have some stuff that I need to finish up. Hopefully I'll be able to do some more later. If not tonight, then possibly tomorrow. And if I do some tonight, then, you know, expect some tomorrow as well. So, I guess, thank you for watching, and I hope to do this again soon.